So I'm going through thousands and thousands of public domain images, which is so much fun for me. I really enjoy it. If you, all you have to do is just search public domain images and it'll come, or like scanned images, and these are free for commercial use as well, which is amazing for your art. If you're interested in this kind of stuff, this is like vintage ephemera. But what I was thinking is I'm kind of choosing like my favorite images, and what I'm planning to do is putting together a little printable bundle of vintage ephemera of like my favorite choices, and I'm cropping them to like A5. I'm just working on like the designs a little bit because this is, let me show you, a bigger image than this. So I'm just kind of yeah, selecting what part looks good printed. But the amazing thing is, wait for it, I am printing them on scrap pieces of paper. So for example, this, that was that, right? So this is what I did in Photoshop, and I had to brighten it a little bit because I don't want it to print out the kind of craft background. I don't really need it, and it's a bit of a waste of ink. I don't need all that yellow, so I'm just brightening it up a little bit to remove it. But I printed it here, and I think it looks incredible. Like the fact that these images or these scanned prints are available in the public domain, I think is so amazing for us as artists. But the even more amazing thing is, since I'm super into vintage ephemera, I hope I'm saying that right these days, I bought this recently, as you guys saw, but I felt, as beautiful as they are, I felt like it wasn't very sustainable because it's printed on brand new cardstock, and I was just thinking there's got to be a better way. What I've done is, this is printed on, you know, the paper that you get in photo frames, the ones that tell you the size, and it's kind of just like the display ones. So the back of it is actually blank, and of course in like true hoarding style I cut it up because I couldn't bear to throw away good paper, and so it's a little bit shinier, if you can hear. It's got a bit of a shine to it. It's a bit of a different texture, but it still came out amazing. I think the texture looks so good, and this would be so nice to just tear up and use in journals. So the whole point of this bundle that I'm creating, that I'm like putting together, is that it's an amazing way for you to use up scrap pieces of paper you might have lying around, and it's a sustainable kind of vintage ephemera style of journaling because you're printing it on scrap pieces of paper. So that's what I want to promote, the fact that you can just download them and print them on whatever paper you have lying around. So for example, I have pieces of paper like this where I've like written on the top of it, but I haven't written on the bottom half, and it's already written on the back. So what I did was I kind of covered up half of the design, and then, wait, so I've got a half page thing here. So, hide. So like this, I kind of just hid the top half and only wanted to print the bottom half, and it turned out like this. Oh, this way. So the rest of the paper had writing on it, so I didn't need it, but how good does that look? So this is like paper that look how much I've got. This is paper that's been in my drawer for years, not even exaggerating, that's got all writing on the back, but like part of it is still good, and I just think this is such a good way to use up paper because I cannot go through all that paper fast enough. I can't write all my to-do lists on it. So if I can print things that I can use for my journal with really, really minimal ink, because it's on the fast draft option, which actually looks better because you don't want too much ink because it looks like a faded piece of paper. So I also did it for this because it had writing on the rest of it. It's a bit hard to see. You can kind of see the writing there. Just really nice paper backgrounds, I think. And these are my favorite. I already it's a bit too torn on the edges, so this was the very first one I did. And I think it just looks so good. So this paper was already kind of beige to begin with, but I have a lot of this. So this is kind of good. But even with the white, it still looks really good. So like a mix of them is really good. This is printed on white as well, and I think that looks amazing. So I'm putting together this bundle. There are thousands and thousands, like 10,000 pages with like hundreds of images per page. So I'm going through all of these, picking out the ones that I think look best in the journal. This is printed on whitish cream, and I think that looks really good. And then you can kind of just tear off a little bit if you want, or use the whole thing. I'm really excited for this because I'm super obsessed with this stuff, and I blame Tiffy Butter, because I've been watching a lot of her old videos and she did a lot of junk journaling, and I just wanted to find a way that I could work it into like what I currently have, and being able to print them out on scrap pieces of paper. Oh, I'm so obsessed with how this all looks. So stay tuned. I'm going to be probably doing this for the rest of the day as something fun, like a fun Friday activity. And I'll show you how it all looks at the end. But I can't stop touching everything. Okay, I actually spent hours hours and hours doing this, finishing this off, like just changing a few little things here and there. The possibilities are endless, and my mind was going a little bit crazy, but I also dreamt about making this, so I was super excited in the morning just to get on the computer and start doing this. But I've got a few more pages to go before it's ready to be listed. I want a few pages in the bundle, kind of like vintage snippets for your journal. But I hope you guys love this as much as I do, because I'm really excited about these and I love these so much, and it just speaks to my soul. So again, thank you, Tiffany, for sparking this love inside of me that I never knew I needed so much. But I'm gonna have some lunch and then come back to making some more of those.